Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Leonidas Case, man. If you can hear me, go ahead and just give me a one or raise your hand or something. I think I can see you. Is that Rohan? You can hear me. All right, cool, man. Shouts out, man. Thanks for being here with me tonight, man. So I want to kick this call off tonight, real quick. If it's just me and you, bro, that's all good. I'm going to deliver some really valuable information to you tonight. If you take advantage of this, brother, I'm telling you, it can change your life in the next 12 months. Okay, when I got started, um, back in 2002 in this industry, it was a whole different ball game, right? And I'm going to get a little bit into that, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I did when I was homeless, man. I was broke. I had no money. My wife was pregnant, right? And I'm going to show you what I did in order to turn things around, to go from living in a homeless shelter, living in a car, to making six figures in less than 4 months. I'm going to show you exactly how I did that in this industry called network marketing, using the internet to leverage my time, to leverage other people's time, to leverage other people's skills, to improve my skills, and to make money all at the same time. And to obviously help other people make money, because that's the only way you make money in this world, especially on the internet. And the really cool thing about the internet, right, that I love about it, just like how me and you're sitting here talking, I'm actually taking a stroll because the kids are in the house. Mom's home tonight, so they're turning up. I just want to get away from all the noise so I can focus, on this call tonight. But the one thing I love about the internet is leverage. I can be anywhere in the world. You can be anywhere in the world. We can still meet up at an agreed upon time, have a mastermind, have a one-on-one if it calls for it, and we can make money together. We can meet up somewhere, meet face to face, and break bread together. Get to really know each other, grassroots, and really become friends. Bond in that sense. That's the real power that we have today. And I want to pay some respects to Mr. Paul Allen. I don't know if you know who that guy is, but that guy is one of the gentlemen that's responsible for us being able to do this tonight. He actually helped. He was one of the founders of Microsoft. He died a couple weeks ago, 2-3 Mondays ago, and um, it's incredible that somebody like that thought about making technology so leverageable to where now we can do this. You look at companies, for instance, like Toys R Us just went out of business here in the U.S., right? Toys R Us went out of business last year. Sorry, Sears and Roebuck just went out of business, filed for bankruptcy like a couple weeks ago. That's that's like hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue that is now going to shift from Sears and Roebuck and from Toys R Us to the hands of people like me and you, because we have to understand how technology works. We have to understand how money works. One of the biggest handicaps that we all have is that nobody teaches us how to make money other than going to a job to exchange time for money. Nobody teaches us how to get money, how to keep money. And a lot of people don't even know how to multiply money, because if they did, they'd be all, living the vida loca, having private jets and, having islands and stuff. But it's not something that we're taught in school. It's not something that our friends talk about. It's not something that our friends know about. And you kind of wonder, well, how do we get into that world? How do we get into that realm? Well, in this industry of network marketing, it can make it happen, because you get access to people that you normally would not be able to get access to on a regular basis, because they're looking for people, the people at the top in a lot of these different companies, they're looking for people like you and me that are serious about improving our lifestyle, serious about learning a new skill, serious about wanting to, do something different, so that way we can have a little more control in our life, have a little more freedom. And when you have unlimited income, meaning you don't have to go and trade your time for money, life takes on a different meaning. Things slow down. I can tell you from my personal experience. I served 10 years in the U.S. Army. I did 5 deployments between Afghanistan and Iraq. And I was literally, after my 3rd deployment, I was scared for my life every day, because I didn't know if I would get a call the next day that, hey, we got to go back to Iraq, or we got to go back to Afghanistan. And I didn't know if I was going to come back home, because there was, in particular, I'm not going to get into too many details, but I had a lot of good friends of mine that did not come back from Afghanistan or Iraq. And I've been in situations where I should not have made it back from Iraq or Afghanistan. And I thank God every single day that I lived, and I get to enjoy every day here now, because I know I shouldn't be here. And because of those guys that made that sacrifice, I appreciate the time freedom that I have now. I appreciate it so much more. And I try to focus on helping more people, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's one on 10 or whatever, to really understand that the fear of making money online, it's really just superficial, because the one thing we fail to understand is the reality of it has to become yours. You know what I mean? Because again, it's not something that you're learning at school. It's not something they're really talking about on television or anything of that nature. So you have to really think about it like, okay, if this guy's telling, this is how I thought about it when I first heard that you can make money on the internet. I heard that there was a guy somewhere on the beach making money on his laptop and his cell phone. And at first I was like, that sounds crazy. But I started to venture into it, right? And this was 2003. It took me until 2011 before I really got onto internet marketing to understand how to actually get money to come to my house without me having to leave and go get it. That was the most fascinating thing to me. And when I understood how that worked, it was like, wow, okay, so it's really that easy. So when you hear about guys like Jeff Bezos that owns Amazon, you hear about guys like Mark Cuban that owns the Dallas Mavericks now, and he sold a tech company and all this, this crazy stuff. You understand how you can use the internet to create leverage. Now let's look at something that every human being on earth has to use. Forex, or I'm not Forex, but currency, the Forex or foreign exchange market, right? It's kind of like the same ordeal in a sense, however, because everybody on earth has to use money to survive. Next to oxygen, money is the next important thing, right? Without money, without oxygen, you can't live on this earth at all. It's almost impossible, right? And that's just the way the system's designed. So no matter where you go on earth, people have to exchange money. Well, the governments across the globe have made it so possible that countries can start companies that can, so for the lack of better term, bet or gamble on the direction of where the currencies are going to flow, right? Now, I'm not a currency expert, right? But one thing that I learned in the network marketing industry over the years, I've been in multiple different companies, is this: especially being in the army, right? You never trust a man without a scar or a limp, because if he's got a scar or he's got a limp, it means he's been to combat before. So he has experience in whatever he's telling you. You see what I'm saying? So that way, like, okay, let me really feel this guy out, see what's going on, stick around for a little bit. If you're a little skeptical, everybody should have your skepticism, because you don't want to be taken for a fool. Nobody wants to be, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been taken for a fool before. We all have at some point, and it's just a part of the game. It's just, I say it's like when you go to school, you have to pay tuition to get your college degree, and then you still have to pay the student loans after you get out of school. Well, if somebody scams you, just cough it up to the game. That's your tuition to, hey, I made a mistake, but now I learned from it. So now I know better. You know what I mean? So it's not to say that the method doesn't work. It might have just been you dealt with a bad person or a bad company, but it's not to say that making money doesn't work. Like if you had a job and you got fired, or the boss was a dick, you're not going to say, well, having a job sucks. It kind of does, but what other options do you have to make money? There's not too many others. So it kind of limits you to what you can do. But with the internet, it gives you a little more control once you understand the process, once you understand how it works. And I'm going to be doing a lot more detailed training on step by step how you can literally take a simple process and make it make money for you. One of the most simplest things to do and make it make money for you. How you can leverage other people's time, other people's efforts, myself and other people's in the groups that we have, so you can actually start to see, return on your investment. Because the one thing you have to learn how to do is how to make your money work for you. And I know that's a very vague term. People always say, yeah, you got to learn how to make your money work for you, but what does that really mean in layman's term? Well, how do you make your money work for you? Well, you do that by a process that's called automation, right? How do you automate something? Well, on the internet, for example, I love videos, because you can pull out your cell phone, make a video with your cell phone that doesn't cost a lot of money at all. Like it did 20, 30 years ago. It cost $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to make a decent video to have a commercial or something. But with the technology we have today, with Facebook, with YouTube, with Instagram, with Snapchat, your phone becomes your television. That's your camera to the world. You know what I'm saying? So that gives you the opportunity to have your own voice, right? And your audience is as big as you make it. Whether it's 1 million, it's as big as you make it. And a lot of that comes with just time and effort and energy and consistency. right? And that's with anything. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect to get started with any opportunity, whether it's your job that you have right now, whether it's a job that you aspire to have or a goal. And the first day or the first week you get started, that you're going to take off of it. It just won't happen, right? And for me, it worked for me a little bit like this. When I got started in network marketing back in March 2003, I did pretty well. My first 4 months, I made about $4,000, 4 times my military income, right? I was about 17, 18 years old at the time. And after I got off from work, I was literally going door to door, knocking on people's doors, right? And I was pitching them this weight loss supplement, right? And after 4 months of doing this consistently, I was getting doors slammed in my face every day. People were yelling at me and all that stuff. But I was young, and I just had my first daughter. And I literally, that was my motivation to get up every day and go do it until I figured it out. And then 4 months in, they sent me the check for 4,000. I was like, yes, this is it. This is the thing that's going to get me rich. But I ended up having to go deploy to Iraq. So that screwed up my business because it was customer driven by residual product purchases, meaning every month, just like how people have to buy food, they have to buy this product every single month in order for me to make money, right? So when I went away to Iraq, my business went away because I didn't understand how to automate. Automation means where you're not required for the process to keep working. So let's look at some processes around the world that use automation. Coca-Cola is one, for example. They use soda machines. There's no human being involved other than to go collect the money and to refill the machine. That's probably done once or twice a week. A laundromat service, most of them, there's like minimal human interaction because it doesn't really need much, to monitor a laundromat. So there's not a lot of human need for jobs, like for businesses of that nature, and they produce money without you having to do anything. You know what I'm saying? And those are great business models. So McDonald's is another one. Any kind of franchisable business where the owner, you go to a franchise type business, you will never meet the owner of the business. They're never there because the business has a manager. You're leveraging other people's time, right? You're leveraging other people's efforts because everybody has a need, everybody has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Every day you have at least 1 million people just in the US alone turning 18 years old that they're going to need jobs, they're going to need the experiences, and this is where they're going to get it. So those people are going to eventually get promoted up to higher management levels and maybe go off to own their own McDonald's one day, or aspire to do their own things. Nobody's going to stay at the bottom forever. You know what I'm saying? You all have to pay a price. You should not want to stay at the bottom forever. And that was one thing that had me driven when I was a young buck in the military, right? And after all my years in the military, and I chose to get out in the military. I said to myself, whenever I got out, I will never go and work for anybody. I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to figure out how I can go out there every day and make this thing work, where I don't have to sacrifice my time anymore, because my time is very valuable to me. You know what I'm saying? I have children, I have a family, I have a beautiful wife. I love my children very much, and I love to be able to stay at home with them and be there for them, because my parents were never present in my life when I was growing up. They were never around. My dad's a musician. My mom was just off doing her thing with her new family, and I was just growing up with my grandparents, right? And that was something that I was wanting. I told myself I'd always, if I ever had kids, I would always make it to where I could be available for them. And that's why, I chose to take this route. And sometimes it's a bittersweet because there's not too many people out there that can understand how to live like this, or how to make the step to actually go from being broke, being homeless, if that's your situation, or living paycheck to paycheck, to actually improving your financial situation to where you're actually living more frugal. You have options. You have money that you can invest. You have money that you can play with. You can afford to take a loss and not worry about it, right? And that's where you would want to be, because in life you're gonna lose at something. You're not gonna win at everything. Okay, not everybody that's ever lived wanted everything. No human being has ever done that. That's just unheard of. That's unreal. That does not exist. It's not real. So don't worry about it. But when you do have your wins, we're gonna help you celebrate, right? In the network marketing industry, people want to see you win, because when you win, we win. Right? When we help you make money, we get paid too, and that's how powerful the network marketing. Halloween. Well, yeah, this very night. What happened on Halloween night? We were actually living in an apartment with this guy. We're selling an apartment with this guy, and the guy ended up like totally. I don't know if it was just a coincidence because it was Halloween or what. The guy freaked out, started destroying the apartment, started really spazzing out on my wife and my kids. My wife had just had our second daughter at the time. So I was really freaked out. So the very next morning, I got up and I went and I pawned my laptop for about $500 to go and get a rental, a car. So I rented the car for us to be able to get out of this apartment, get away from this guy, and get to a safe place. And tonight, 3 years ago, we were actually sleeping in a hotel, and I was just up, pacing, wondering what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to fix this? We're homeless now. We just have enough money for a few days here in this hotel or for a hotel. So what do we do now after this money runs out? How do I fix the situation? Well, lucky for me, I was able to get into a network marketing company prior to that situation where this guy took me under his wing and I asked him to mentor me and he did. And because that network marketing company changed owners, a lot of things changed in the company and we left that company. So with that, my income went away and we weren't able to make a strong enough shift to a new company and get more in before I ran out of money. And that's pretty much what happened, right? So instead of going and get a job, I said, you know what? I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna stick to it, even if I have to, like I said, go live on the side of the street. That's just what I'm gonna do because even though I have to endure this, this is gonna inspire somebody someday that's really that they're thinking about giving up and think that this is the end of the road. My life sucks. It's over. There's no way I'm gonna get out of this. No, I want to be able to inspire them to let them know, man, you can be down at the bottom of the barrel and you can still turn around and it can be a brighter day because the one thing you have to understand in life, nothing lasts forever. Whether you're riding high or you're riding low, nothing lasts forever. Even celebrities, they have massive losses, man. They have huge, huge, huge detrimental losses. Could you imagine if you woke up tomorrow? Let's say you were like Elon Musk, right? This guy's worth like $18 billion, right? 18 billion with a B, right? Bravo B, right? Let's say you woke up tomorrow and Tesla stock dropped and you lost like $10 billion. Like you woke up, you check the bank, your net worth is down to 4 billion. How would you process that? You know what I mean? You got to be really strong mentally, emotionally to take a loss of that nature. Okay. And when you think about it, that's one of the reasons why a lot of us don't have that amount of wealth because, like the old book says, to whom much is given, much is required. Right. So that's gonna take a lot of muscle for us to be able to get to that point. But it's not to say that it's impossible, right? Everything happens in waves, everything happens in leaps and bounds, and you've got to be able to level up. Elon Musk is an example. This guy, he was one of the guys that helped create eBay, right? So I'm sorry, not eBay, PayPal. So when PayPal got big around 1999, 2000, Peter Thiel, uh, uh, Elon Musk and a couple of other the founders, they sold PayPal to eBay for $1 billion. Elon Musk cut was like $200 million was his share of that $1 billion profit. So what did he do in 2000? He went out and he invested in SpaceX. I think he put like $100 million into SpaceX. Then he put money into Tesla, like 70 million into Tesla, and then another 6 million into the batteries or something. And then he was broke like in 3 days. He just made $200 million in like it was like 3 weeks in reality, right? But fast forward to now, the guy's worth billions, right? He got to that level in steps and ways. He was a poor, he wasn't really poor, but he came up as a kid building technology, taking advantage of technology, building computer programs, and he helped start PayPal. PayPal today is a worldwide financial institution, right? And because of his genius to be able to build that and sell that company, he networked with the right people, right? That's the one thing you got to position yourself. If you go through history, if you go all the way back to like guys like Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan Chase, you look at these guys and see how they arrived at their successful points is because they positioned themselves in places where they would increase their chances to be successful. Okay, they got themselves around the people that would enhance their chances for them to be best successful. Right, that's the number one thing that they all did, and that's what you have to do too. If you want to have success, you have to consistently literally cut the bullshit out. You know what I mean? Cut away all the fat. Now, again, backstory about myself. I'm from the Caribbean, man. It might not sound like it. I just like to speak proper English so that way I don't have to repeat myself and I don't sound like an idiot to people sometimes, right? So I read a lot of books. That helps a lot. And then on top of that, like I said, I'm from the Caribbean. I was born in St. Croix in the Virgin Islands. I grew up on Tortola. I went to high school there, and then I left off to the military, right? And I like to tell people, like, I'm nobody special. It's just because I seen somebody else and said, yo, you can make this money on the internet. I said, all right, how do I do it? And they said, boom, follow my lead. And that's what I did. I took the step. My man, there's been times I took my rent money, $2,000, all the money I had, and I invested in advertising. And the advertising failed. I got no sales from it. And then I had to figure out how am I going to pay my rent, behind on my rent. And then for whatever reason it was, I don't even remember back when this was going on. Something happened and I was able to pay my rent because I took the chance, I took the risk, it paid off in some way, some form. And I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. I'm just letting you know that's what I did because I know that I was going to do whatever it takes, even if it meant for me to go and break stones for 8 hours a day to make the money back to go and pay my rent. I would do whatever it takes to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And I would always figure it out. And that's what I always did. You know what I'm saying? And one of the most key factors that I can tell you is one, getting a mentor, right? Getting somebody that's on a higher level than where you are, that's gonna stretch you, that's gonna keep you focused because you're good. Iron sharpens iron. So if somebody's coaching you, if they're mentoring you, you're helping them and they're helping you, believe it or not. But it goes both ways. You see what I'm saying? That's gonna help increase your chances of success. When I was going, that's what helped me the most. I had a mentor, his name is Todd, right? Todd really took me under his wing. I mean, at the time we became best friends. Okay, it came down to the point where he would be up on these really weird schedules. I mean, he would be worked 36 hours nonstop, and we'd be on the phone literally 12 hours a day. We'd be on the phone, masterminding, talking, coming up with marketing strategies, coming up with email sequences, coming up with all these application processes, how to do all these different tips and tricks until we stumble upon, this foreign exchange market, right? And this was around 2016. And at first I was really apprehensive about it because it just looked like stocks and I was really bad at math. And I was like, I ain't trying to learn all that stuff. But then, I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And I did that. And I'll be honest with you, I quit. This was 2016. I quit, and this was after I got out of that situation, and things started going. I just quit on that. And I'll be real with you. When another buddy of mine brought it back to me 12 months ago, I was in a similar situation, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it work. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna work it for me first. I'm gonna see how it's going for me first, and then I'm gonna go hard with it when I see that this is something that it's gonna last. And guys, it's been over 12 months I've been with this company, right? They pay every single Friday. I've never had a problem with getting paid from them. Matter of fact, they just actually had a massive revamp of the back office, right? And I'm gonna do an overview video of it, showing you all the new cool features of the back office, right? And I can tell you the people that I'm seeing that are besides myself that are being very successful with this company. That a lot of them, I didn't even know that they were part of this company. These are people that I haven't seen in any network marketing company, in any company anywhere else, ever since. And and some of them that I'm seeing that are in this company now, it's really mind blowing to me. It's like, okay, if these guys are in this company, this is what's going on, and this is where I need to really plant my flag, and this is where I really need to have everybody that I'm partnered with focused on. If you're just coming on, just go ahead and mute your audio so that we don't have any interruption. So that way, I can really leverage my skills and really help people make money long term. Because if you understand, how to make money, if you understand how to get money, how to multiply money, then I'm telling you, it'll be easy for you to be able to improve your lifestyle, right? It'll be easy. Hey, can you go ahead and mute your microphone?
Oh, come my way. Okay, go, honey.
So the number one thing to always remember is being involved in the right circle of people that are gonna always pick you up when you're feeling down, because you're not always gonna have great days. Okay, it's not every day when I was in that situation, being homeless, that I really felt like moving on or doing the thing I needed to do, because some days it was very difficult. But because I had a mentor, because I had a network of people like we have with our Facebook groups, it really helps you to be able to stay positive and know that, you know, you can actually get through today if that's what you need. You know what I'm saying? We're here for you guys. And I want to share with you guys before I close out on this call tonight. Don't think that you're ever alone, okay? Always know that you've got somebody that's here, especially again because of technology, that can help you break through and get things rolling. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm telling you, having a mentor, somebody that's been where you're at, right, and can tell you, hey, you know, you can go from making $1,000 a month to $1,000 a day, right? But you just have to condition your mind for it. You got to really break that foul stench that society has already put in your mind, that that's all you're worth. Once you can change that belief, then the money shows up. Believe it or not, the opportunities will start presenting themselves. The right people will start showing up in your life. All of a sudden, you'll be like, "Where have you been all this time?" It's because your belief wasn't aligned with what you want, and that's really all it is. That's what all it boils down to. When your belief is aligned with that, you will be blown away to see things that you experience in life that you're like, "Man, why is this happening to me?" You'll see 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road, 18 months later, you'll be like, "Oh, that's why this happened." So I can be here now. Oh, okay. And it'll start to make sense to you. And again, those I'm gonna get real deep into some details on that, because there's some things, some lessons I want to teach you guys, especially personal experience that I've grown from in the last 3 years. Blown my that way, you know what I mean? And to go from, again, living in, I was homeless in the Caribbean, living on St. John back in 2014, in a building with no electricity, no running water. I was homeless in Florida, and it sucked. Being broke sucks. Nobody wants to be broke. Nobody wants to live paycheck to paycheck. Nobody wants to lean on the government. Trust me, you don't. I worked for them for 10 years, man. When they're done with you, they don't care about you. They chew you up, spit you out, and tell you to, you know, hope for the best. And you're better than that. I believe you are. You know what I mean? And you've got to, you have to look at yourself in the mirror. You have to take yourself serious, and you have to design the life you want. And that's what I started to do. I start every single day. I can show you for the last 3 years. I write my goals down every day, morning and night. I write down, because here's the thing. It's just like learning a song. You know, when a song comes on the radio, after a little while, you know the song really well. It's because you listen to the song so much. Well, the reason why you're not hitting your goals, because you look at your goals maybe once a year and you make a New Year's resolution. You're not taking your goals serious. But if you're writing your goals down every day, now you're seeing them every day. Now you can be focused on your goals, right? And that's going to make a huge difference. Trust me, it will. You know, prime example, like I was telling you guys earlier on the live stream earlier today. You know, I'm right now I'm in flight school. This is a goal, and I'm saying flight school like, yeah, I'm going to learn how to fly planes, not for a living, not for a job, but because that's a passion of mine. That's something I've always wanted to do ever since I was 9 years old. I had the opportunity to play flight simulator, and from then I was hooked on just learning how to fly. All my years in the military, I was always around helicopters, jumping out of helicopters, jumping out of planes, cool stuff like that, because I was just fascinated about flying and stuff like that. And now I finally have the confidence in myself, the money, the resources, the time to go and actually pay for it and get my private pilot's license to one day be able to go and fly on my own leisure. So I'm telling you, whatever your dreams are, you know, you have to put them in front of you every single day, and that's what I was not doing with that. And it took for me to, I found I was going through some old papers when we moved into this house a couple months ago. It took for me to find a paper from 1994, when I was 11 years old. It My career of choice was to be an airline pilot. That was the choice. That was what I wanted to be at 11. And I was like, holy smokes, if I had only seen that multiple times, you know, especially in the military, I would have through and followed through and gotten my pilot's license like 15 years ago. Me not
Yeah.
seeing my goals, I never did it. You know what I mean? And that's the one main thing that I tell people every single day. It's like they say, if you go look through the Bible, right, Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write the vision and make it plain on stone tablets. Remember back in those days, they didn't have dry erase, bro. They didn't have paper.
Right,
They had
right.
stone and chisel. So if you were to go and was like, you couldn't erase it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. So you have to take your goals and make your goal. You have to have that same kind of focus, because
Right.
where I'm from, back where I'm from, they train us to think, hey, I'm gonna work hard to get my house and get a piece of land and a car. And I've been telling people ever since I was a kid that is the most selfish mindset for people to have. And they look at me like I'm crazy. And they're like, what do you mean? I say, because think about it. If you go get a job, you're the only person that's working. So you can only trade 8 hours a day to go get money. So the only person you can work for is yourself. You're gonna go get money just for yourself to build a house just for you when you're spending half your time away from the place. That's very selfish. When you say you want to help people, why not develop a business to help people, or some way to help the community, and be able to help others thrive, and then you can thrive as well. Because who's going to be mad if I'm helping 15 people make some money? Do you think all 15 of them are going to be upset if they give me like 10% of what they're making? Probably not. They're going to be like, man, there's 15 if the money's good, right?
Of course, makes sense. Makes sense.
Principle. It's the same principle across the board, but we got to understand. We have to also understand that success is not an overnight thing. I've been doing this network marketing thing since 2003. 2000, I think it was 2003. And that was when I first went to Iraq, 2003. So yeah, March 2003. That's when I first started this. It hadn't been an overnight thing. It took me. I actually, in 2004, I went to Italy, and it was by accident that I made $192,000, and this was gross pay, net pay. I'm sorry, with my military income. So with what I made with the military and what I made with the network marketing company, there were months I was making as much as $28,000. And this is documented. So young. I didn't have a mentor at the time. I was just blowing money. I was not saving for the future because I was scared. I didn't think I was going to live past 26, honestly, at the rate things were going in the Army. I didn't think I was going to be alive right now. So I didn't really think about today. I didn't have kids yet. I don't really think about saving for the future. But after that change, it's like, holy smokes. We got to really think about life differently. I might live to be 90 like my grandmother did and my granddad did. So if I live to be 90, I need to figure out this money thing in really early so I can just enjoy my life and not work my life away. And then I can actually take my time and donate my time to other people, helping other people live an easier lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because we all don't want much in life, but a lot of it is because of our programming and who we have around us, who we take our advice from. A lot of it is that. I can tell you that from first, because I can tell you from where I come from, I should not have the life I have. I shouldn't have the wife I have. I shouldn't have the kids I have. I shouldn't have the life I have. There's no way I should have it. But because I chose to listen to a different TV programming, I have a different lifestyle than my mom, than my dad, than my sisters. I live in a much nicer house than both my mom and my dad. I pay my own bills by myself. I don't live with any family other than my wife and my children. My wife and and I'm not saying that to brag or boast. I'm just saying that to impose that it's possible. I'm a very young guy. I'm not old or anything. People look at me and they think I'm like 19, and I'm like, yes, I'm still looking really young. I'm taking good care of myself, but it's a great feeling to know when, the first of the month comes around, I don't got to worry about my bills. I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't have to ask mom for nothing. I don't have to ask dad for nothing. They ask me for money. You know what I mean? And for me, it's kind of like, really? But it's a good feeling to know that I'm in a position to be able to give, even though, they may not have it. So that's the main thing is having options. You know what I'm saying? Even though people might look at you and think, people are going to think whatever they want, right? They're going to, this is a funny thing I'm going to leave you with, and I'm going to close out on this call. But in this book, I read, it's called The 4-Hour Work Week by.
Okay.
He says first started making money in the early 2000s. Travel all with me. He went from when he started making about $40,000 a month, he would travel and people would ask him, man, what do you do for a living? And he would look at him and be like, you know what? If I explained to him what I did, they wouldn't believe me. They thought I was lying. So he always told people he was a drug dealer, and they left it alone. Yeah. And I always thought that was funny because it's like, who's going to really question that? You know what I mean? Because if I tell you, hey, I have this thing on the internet, I send this website to people, and then they fill out their credit card and they buy, and then they send me money, and then I send them something, people are going to think you're insane. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to think you're a scam artist. They're going to think you're insane. That's not real. But they fail to remember, hey, eBay people pull out their credit card, people go to Amazon, and they buy. Who do you think they buy from? They don't buy Amazon. They buy from another human being, but they don't think about it because they don't know better. So you can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know. And it's the same ordeal with money. That's why, money is a very, very touchy subject for people. I learned at a very young age, $100 bill will get anybody to do just about anything. Okay, and that is true because not too many people see $100 very often.
That's
The
right.
the masses don't see $100 too often, and if they see it, it's maybe for an hour and it goes to somebody else. Money leaves their hand like the wind that blows, and you
Water.
wonder
What?
why that happened. And it's literally it's because of principles, right? There's a talk. I'm gonna drop this in our group tonight. I'm gonna look for it tonight. It's a talk by Earl Nightingale. I listen to this religiously, right?
Okay.
And he talks about one of the principles to success and to wealth is whenever you have money, no matter the amount of money it is, always put aside 10% first into an
Okay.
account for future investment and act like that money does not
I've,
exist,
I've
right?
heard that before. Right. Right.
So when I first heard that, I was like, And then I
Yeah.
met one of my current mentors, Grant Cardone. You'll hear me reference a lot about Grant Cardone. He talked about that. He talks about that a lot in the 10X rule and in Be Obsessed to Be Average. That when he really made up the decision around in his mid 20s to actually start taking his life serious, he started selling more cars, making more money to the point where he made $100,000 in his first year back out of rehab. And when he made that $100,000, he went ahead and he saved. I think he said in his early 30s he set aside his first million, and he went ahead and he invested in a real estate apartment complex, and
Uh-huh.
probably in one swing he made $5 million, all because he made the decision to set aside a percentage of his money for a period of time, and at a set period of time he was in a position to take advantage of a huge opportunity. Prime example, I think you're on here, Donna.
Yes, I'm here.
Think about what just happened out there last year. Awesome. Think about what
I'm
just happened out there last year with the storms, right? Say
yes. And
that's a given. Hurricanes are gonna come in the Caribbean from time to time, right? So this has happened now, but now you're in a position to potentially put yourself 5 years into the future. Let's say $200,000 cash on hand. Another hurricane come. Let's say it's a Category 6 because they're gonna get worse. Let's say it's a Category 6 storm that comes this time. Now it wipes out a whole island. But guess what happens now? The island now everything's for sale because they need money to rebuild. So
that's
now
right.
Donna comes in with $200,000 and said, "Hey, I'll put 200,000 up for some dump truck, some equipment, and we'll put them to work." And now you got money just being poured onto you like gasoline. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Because you said, "Hey, I'm going to
Mhm.
position myself for an opportunity of that nature." Because guess what? It's not if it's gonna come.
It will.
Last year we had Harvey, we had Irma. We just had one here in Florida that ripped apart the whole city. They've been set back like 10 years right now. They're in trauma. You know what I mean? So those opportunities. It's sad to say. I hate to speak about it like this,
I
but
know. I know.
that's an opportunity for
But
that.
it's
That's a
still
huge
there.
opportunity for a shift of wealth,
Yeah. It's there.
right? And it can happen. It is there. We got to position ourselves to do that. So
Yeah.
my focus here with this team, with what we're doing with IML, I believe in it. It's a solid foundation. We're learning about how money works, right? Because money is going to position us to be able to do those kind of things. This comes a lot from my education. Once I made quite a bit, I told you, things were not good for me 12 months ago. Okay, we were living in Huntsville, Alabama. We went up there from the hurricanes and ended up getting stranded up there because I ran out of money. We ran out of money. Things got hard. My wife was pregnant 12 months ago, and now we live in I think it's like 2,900 square foot house, 2-car garage, really really nice house, man. Really nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
I
Hello.
really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So and we don't own it. We're renting. I'm not trying to tell you that we're trying to brag and
No, no, no,
we're
no.
renting it. Because here's the thing that I learned from one of my mentors, right? He always says, rent where you live and own and rent what you own. Because here's the one thing that makes sense to me. Being in the military, I never lived anywhere more than 2 years. I always moved around a lot because of the job. And because I never owned a house, I never had to worry about putting a house up for sale or doing this or doing that. And that's the power of renting.
Okay.
You
Okay.
get up today, the worst case behind it, best case scenario, if I'm renting, if I wanted to go move to California tomorrow, not unrealistic, but like in 2 weeks, I can just call out, hey, I'm leaving to go to California, so we'll terminate the lease. You can keep the deposit. I'll pay for next month, and we're gone. and I can
There
go
you
rent in
go.
California and go
Yeah.
rent there, and I can move. Because life, you have one life to live. You don't want to be stuck in one location and doing one mundane thing all the time, because you're gonna just get wrapped up in that. And then it's like the weight on the chain on that. You're gonna get that heavy chain of life, that chain, and it's gonna get
Stuck
so
onto
heavy,
it.
and you're not even gonna. It's gonna be hard to take it off. That root stuck in you. So and that's something that I like to
Okay.
all. You get new experiences. You get an opportunity to network with people, especially in this world, because network marketing, your net worth equals your net worth. Your income is the direct division of the 5% of time. So if you want to make a lot of money, you need to spend time with people. And believe me, it's easy today to get around people, get information people, get people that make 6, 7, 8, and 9. I've made 6 figures. I'm always this year right now, and
Okay.
I'm hoping
Ah,
in this
come back.
month, the next month, I'll close it out and make it happen. And with that, today's the 1st of November, and,
Yeah.
and I'm committed. Stream. You have
You're breaking up
joining the
on me.
chats. A lot more people joining. I'm gonna be doing a lot more training with how to recruit, how to prospect, how to do advertising for dirt cheap. We're going to be showing a lot of inside secrets that I've learned over the years that I've paid a lot of money, and I'm about to actually pay a guy. He just quoted me earlier today at $10,000 for some advertising coaching that he's in, because this guy he's doing a couple $1,000,000 a month is what he's doing right now. The results of I've multiple of the students that have gone. So I talked him down to about 6,000. If you talking to him, so you can lower his price a little more. And if he's negotiate some more, I'm gonna invest in it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just
Hello.
my
Oh.
that I can learn, because once you learn a skill, nobody can take it away from nobody. It's always use that skill to make money. That's the good thing about it. So that's what's going on with me. I actually and to close this out, I clicked so I
Stop it. It's breaking up on me.
to
Can't
have
hear you.
and you get that email, you transfer money, and just like that, you get your check, just like, or if you pull the money out of your trade, whichever way you go. So with that said, man, I want to thank you personally for taking time out tonight to spend time with me tonight. You could be doing, a lot of other things, but you took time out to be here with me tonight to hear what I have to say. And I want to let you know, man, like what I shared tonight, it's really serious for you to really put your goals on it a little bit.
Yes.
Do that so you can be a reality. Okay, you can have it in a very short window, a very short period of time. All it takes is for you to reprogram your thinking. That's all it is, and it's a very easy thing to do. But at the same time, it's difficult because that you have to do that a lot of us suffer from. I'm included. I struggle with it myself every
I hear you.
day, like a it's one of the things where a tough gorilla to fight off. Okay, but we're gonna work on it together. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna scratch your back via the process of Battle Buddy system that we're gonna help each other rise up to the top. So again, thanks for coming out tonight. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Email. Get ready to start loading up these calls. Start getting all your friends, your family members, anybody you think that you love, that you care about, the information.
Yeah, that's what I got to do. Get them the information.
Working with, and we want to, so that way they can be able to make the right decision for themselves, for their families, and make it take it to another level. So you have a blessed night, and I'll talk to you on the next call, the next live stream, and definitely in person.